Alright, with Super Awakening coming out, I decided to make a tier list of who to Super Awaken, with such tiers as must, after must. If you like them, if you really like them, I personally did it and I regret it, and just Lamau. I will be doing on this, not just global characters, no, it's, like, the purpose of the video is because global is getting it, so people want to know, should they Super Awaken specific characters. But we'll also put characters that are on GP, just so this list remains relevant for long, because I don't plan on updating it. So, regardless, let's continue. I won't take too long, I'll try to make this as fast as possible, as like the runtime's like 30 minutes. But I'll try to explain, but also going fast, because I don't want to take too long. King is a must. The end is only if you like her. Merlin's a must. Buns if you really like him. Red Milia's really like him. Eskenore is like an after. Gopher's a must. Melascula, Lamau. Blue Diamond is a must. Lamau. If you like him. Actually, nah, if you like him. I personally did it, and I don't regret it because it's good for clearing red demon fast, but honestly, only if you really need it or like him. Blue Merlin, Lamau. Oh, I can put it, I didn't regret it. Jericho, Lamau. Deanne, I didn't regret it. Elaine, I haven't done it yet, but I know I'm gonna regret it. No, actually, I can't say that. I'll say if you really like her because she's a support, so it's pretty decent. Lamau, there's no reason for her to super awaken her because you want her to die, unless you really want to make her a strategy where you see your enemies and she uses her as a healer, where you don't want her to die. But then that's not majority of people, I believe. So majority of people use her as a death machine. So, is that the correct word? A dying machine? Liz didn't regret it. Gun didn't regret it. Blue Golfer, I kind of don't regret it. But only if you really like him. I don't regret it, but I'll say only if you really like him. Lamau. Lily's a must. Lamau. Oh, I didn't regret it. Blue Bond, don't get me wrong, he's good for clearing the red demon, but honestly his later is just faster. Skinny Green King after, he's pretty good. Fat King Lamau. Green Lily if you really like her. Connor Melly if you really like him. Valenti is I'll say an after. Glocks Lamau. Deanne Lamau. Green Melly if you like him. Green Deanne I would say is after. Green Deanne is pretty good. Death Pierce as well. Death Pierce is especially if you're gonna run the crit team at some point, is pretty good. Lamau. Also going after. The thing is that Eskenore is just not relevant anymore. It's sad because he is my favorite character in the anime. Don't think I have biased against him. I have biased for him. And I still think he's irrelevant right now in the game, which is very upsetting. Again, he's my favorite character. Hope the new one that's coming out tomorrow, it's not gonna be tomorrow, it's announced tomorrow, will be really good and so relevant. Eskenore is in every team again. That's what I want. Real Mori didn't regret it. Gilo, Lamau. Helbram? I'll say Lamau. Jericho, if you like her, I think it's worth it. Especially after she gets the buff she got on GP. After the buff, she's like actually really... Oh, okay. Let's consider this global Jericho. But after the buff she got on GP, she becomes actually so good. So good. Lamau. I didn't kind of regret it, but it's mostly for personal use. I really don't use Red Merlin. If you like to use her own PvP, I guess of course it's a must for you. But this goes from person to person, right? That's different experiences for the game. I didn't kind of regret it, because I never really use her. But I would say if you really like her, because she's good for damage, for the freeze, so I'd say she's not like dumb or anything like that. Monspeed, Lamau. I didn't regret it. I did super awaken her for one of the super bosses, the second super boss, because it was the best strategy, and then it became not the best strategy anymore like 2 weeks later, so like Lamau. I didn't regret it. Gil Thunder, he's not relevant. It's just sad, but he's not relevant. Hellbrum, I mean, if you use King Brum for some reason, I guess it's relevant to you, but I did it and never used it again. Hauser, okay, let me give you a pet talk about Hauser. Hauser is the most shafted Super Awakening in the game. His Super Awakening is so bad because the stats he gets are completely irrelevant. He gets crit chance. He already has triple crit chance. It's so bad. It's so irrelevant. I wouldn't say I regret it. I'd say if you really like him, but like, I would not say I regret it because I still use him. But like, yeah, I didn't regret it. I didn't regret it. Okay, Eli's not on global yet, even though she does. She buffs crit damage for the team. I think if you're gonna use her for super boss, it's relevant to super awaken her, but only if you really need it. Or for output in after. Now the SRs. So here's the thing about super awakening. SSRs and SRs and Rs have different super awakening cost. SRs cost less, but for the majority of them, I would say they're all Lamau. So the only ones I put in the list itself will be the ones I consider relevant, like Green Gale Thunder. And that's about it. I mean, Red Slater is somewhat relevant, and I would not. I'm sorry, I would not say I regret it. And also, Blue Aaron. Other than that, are there any SRs that are actually relevant? Sad, but there really isn't. I think. Oh, what am I talking about? I think they should release more SRs for sure. Like, I don't know. The last one we got was Gilo when Death Pierce came out, like so long ago. We need more SRs, but regardless, Bellion, Lamau. I know Speedy did it, and I don't know if he regrets it. Red King, I'll put in after. Pierce is oddly irrelevant again, even though no one's running counters for it. But you know, he's still good. Estarossa only after. He's good, but like, he's not like. Only if you if you really like him, you can put in a must. But I would say after is a good tier for him. Red Lamau. Oh, I would say I didn't regret it. Actually, I did super awaken her, and I kind of regret it. Lamau. Dariari is a must for sure for PvE content. Green Dariari, if you like her, I think it's worth it. She's a very good PvE character, especially with the Valencia team. Melaskill, I would say the same. I'll say if you like her, you should do it. And then Galen, Lamau. Galen is so sad. His passive could have been just a little better. Because his passive, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't used it in a while. It was like only 30%, right? Sorry. What they could have done, yeah, only 30%, is instead of ignoring defense, ignores defense-related stats. If they did that, he would be so much better. He would actually be like God tier. But unfortunately, he's not. So Easton, I would say it's an after. I mean, if you're gonna use it for a good boss, Lamau. If you like him, I think it's worth. If you really like him, I think it's worth. Proudron, if you're gonna whale, yeah. If you're gonna whale, then yeah, I guess you should put him. Lost Vein, of course. Roxy, I didn't regret it. No, I wouldn't say I regret it. I think, yeah, I would not say I regret it. Blue Zaldrus, I would say you put him after. Lamau. Glock Senior, I would not say I regret it. I would say I'll put him. He's like a very good Dina that just doesn't have like a fancy team. Hawk, I would say if you really like him. I super awaken him and I haven't really used him because Hawk is only relevant when his buff is active. When his buff is not active, he's just not good. So it's just, do I regret it? I don't know. I think he's decent, but only when his buff is active. Goddess Liz, of course. What's the question? Lamau. I would say. Yeah, I definitely regret super awakening her. I did super awaken her. Shin is very good, but only if you like him. Again, one of my favorite characters in the game, but still. Red DN, only if you really like her. Green Dro, I would put him here. He's definitely really good. Red Zaldrus, he is God tier. Yeah, he's a must super awaken. If you like him, I would say for sure. Green Easton is a must. If you get her, I think it's a must. Lamau, if you really like him, I'd say Red Levi is good. If you really like her, of course. Lamau. Oh, Lamau must. God, he's a god. Blue Dro can go with Green Dro right there. Camille Lamau. Lamau. Hendrickson must. King must. I'll say I'll put in after. When she released, she was like super good for the King team, but really Liz is just better. So Athena, yeah, for sure. Kyo's a must. Athena, if you really use her, of course, you should awaken her. Mai, if you really use her, you should awaken her. Mono, if you like her. I wouldn't even say if you really like her. I think she's a very good, capable PvE unit, so I'll say like that. Rugal's a must. God, absolute god. Gopher's a must, absolute god. If you like him, I'll say you should awaken him. Roxy is like really good. Sarah is a must. Tarmia is a must. And Jericho if you really like her. Alright, so we've been through all of it. I hope my webcam isn't blocking the king here, but that's the list. I would say it's, let me actually zoom out a little bit just so the webcam isn't blocking anything. But that's the list. I would say these are the must Super Awaken. Do at your own pace. Use first the Super Awakenings on the characters you really use, and then move to getting more and more. Honestly, there's of course positions in this list that you would not agree, because I personally use Death Pierce all the time. I wouldn't say that he's a must Super Awaken for everyone, that's why I'm putting him on after. For me, he would be a must, but not maybe for you. Same thing can go for like maybe use Starossa all the time. That's a must for you. This is very subjective, but you know, I'm saying if I had to rank them myself, in my personal opinion, that would be how to go. Like these first characters, and of course, if I want to rank like from first to last in the first year, I would say Green Gopher goes first. He's like the best character in the game. And then Meliodas, King, Liz, and then Merlin, just for the team, because this is the most common team on JP right now. These 5 characters, of course, you can use 5 units, but you trade between King and Gopher, and you know that's the most popular team on JP right now. And then if you use like the Pierce team, Red Zeldris, these characters are not on global yet, so let me actually put them back. I'll say Rugal here, and then Kyo. Oh, just clicked. Then Kyo. Yeah, while you still wait for these characters to release on global, but I'll confidently say this is a list I agree with. Of course, I built it, but sometimes when I build lists, I'm like, oh, do I still agree with this, or have I changed my mind? A few seconds after putting it. I'll say this is pretty reasonable for most people. Again, goes from case to case, but regardless. Thank you guys for watching. Again, just do your own decisions, but if you want some recommendation, that's how I recommend it.